Everyone loves Deadpool. That's not an opinion, it's a fact. Whether it be his comic book variants, the beloved film adaptations, or his video game projects, the Merc with a Mouth is a character that you just can't hate. So it's a shame that we haven't seen him all that much lately, but all of that will soon change with the upcoming Solo film and a possible continuation to its 2013 video game. Here's everything we know, starting off with a man of many talents. Nolan North is one of the biggest names in the video game industry. His voice is pretty much everywhere, with iconic roles like Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, Desmond Miles in Assassin's Creed, Ghost in Destiny 2, and Higgs from Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding as well. However, he doesn't just show up in games. North has also played major roles in animated shows such as Star Trek Lower Deck, as well as DC's Young Justice. Plus, he even shows up in live-action films every now and then, the latest example being his cameo in the Tom Holland starring Uncharted film. North also has an extensive history with Marvel too, being the original voice actor for Deadpool in the Merc's 2013 solo video game. More recently, he also voiced Tony Stark in Square Enix's poorly received Avengers game. Recently, the actor also commented on how he'd love the chance to revisit Deadpool in a potential sequel game project. Let's take a look at what he had to say about his work. During a press conference at the recent Dragon Con, Nolan North went into detail about his voice acting and motion capture on Uncharted, Marvel's Avengers, and many more. Well, his most notable and famous works have been the Uncharted series. His latest role was as Iron Man in the Square Enix Avengers project. As many of you may already know, that title didn't get much of a standing ovation. But just how exactly did the varying reception affect the actors on these kinds of projects? North admitted that it had zero effect on him at all since. By the time the game had come out, he had already moved on to another project. When talking about Avengers, he pointed out how he thought the negative reception had nothing to do with the game's performance, but that it had more to do with his mechanics. The actor also noted that there was one exception to his opinion that solid mechanics make a good game, that being the Deadpool project he did back in 2013. While recalling the title, North revealed that it originally even had a song titled F You Legal, where the Merc with a Mouth voices his distaste with the game's legal department about cutting lines and scenes that they deemed too intense. Did North ever actually sing the jingle? Yes, he did, but according to him, it never made the game. Furthermore, North also wants Marvel to let him make a Deadpool game inspired by the Uncharted series. During the conference, the actor also talked about how he wanted Marvel to let him make a Deadpool game in the same style as the acclaimed Uncharted series, leaving some room for a Ryan Reynolds cameo as well. Considering the fact that North will possibly be making a cameo appearance in the upcoming Deadpool 3 movie, the actor also stated that you never know. Though a Deadpool game sequel would be quite a surprise, the timing could certainly offer lots of synergies. Plus, who knows, maybe the stars will align and both Nolan North and Ryan Reynolds could work together on the project for max hilarity. A narrative-driven game for the Merc with a Mouth would be awesome as well. Imagine a complete new gen overhaul similar to 2018's God of War. If that game could make such a drastic change, anything's possible. Sadly, you shouldn't get your hopes too high for a second Deadpool game, but it's perfectly understandable to at least keep the dream going. Until then, we can look forward to seeing the Merc with a Mouth return in his third solo film. While there are numerous MCU projects that we're waiting for, the level of anticipation for Ryan Reynolds' MCU debut in Deadpool 3 is a different being altogether. Not only will the movie mark Reynolds' debut in the MCU, but it'll also be the entry of the Merc as Marvel canon. It'll also be the first movie in the franchise made under Kevin Feige's leadership, and a lot is riding on it. And while all this hush-hush on the project made us quite uncomfortable, there might actually be an update. Marvel recently revamped the release calendar to fit in the new Phase 5 and 6 entries to the MCU. According to the calendar, the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, will kickstart the next phase that defines the whole multiverse saga. One of the release dates that are still blank in Phase 6 is in September of 2024, and several viral reports are claiming that it's for Deadpool 3. And it's not just that. Reports have also drawn parallels and claimed that Deadpool 3 will get its due in the Expo next year, just like the upcoming Fantastic Four film, and Kevin Feige will be announcing it at the same time. While the release is still a ways away, we really hope that it turns out to be true because it's been too long since we last saw Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson pulling off his iconic fourth wall-breaking shenanigans. On the other hand, there are plenty of other Marvel games currently in the works. As much as we love Marvel's comic book adaptations, many series seem to translate just as easily to video games, and there are a lot of games coming out in the coming years. From action to strategy to mobile games, it seems like Marvel isn't afraid to tackle anything in its way. Many of the future games also have fans excited. They're going to multiple highly anticipated sequels, standalone titles, and even mystery titles that we still know little about. However, some of the upcoming projects have been revealed at the Disney 23 Fan Expo, including Marvel's Midnight Suns, Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and several other unannounced projects. It truly is a great time to be a Marvel fanboy, with all the content that's set to come out in the upcoming years. Meanwhile, in other Marvel gaming news, first up, EA announces an update regarding the upcoming Iron Man game. EA has announced a brand new Iron Man game made by Motive Studio. It's going to be a single-player game and is currently in early development. This confirmation also follows the numerous rumors and details that have been circulating online in recent weeks related to this and the other Marvel games that have been thought to be in development at multiple studios. After the Marvel Games showcase last Tuesday, which didn't feature the game or any indication that it was coming, EA and Marvel give us a deeper look into what the game will be like regarding the direction that the teams want to go in. The game aims to capture the feeling of what it's truly like to play as Iron Man and will mainly focus on the Marvel hero himself. Marvel and EA also confirmed that Oliver Prue will be leading the Motive Studio team, which will be working on the game. Prue has previously served as the senior producer on the award-winning Guardians of the Galaxy game, as well as a producer on the Avengers game, specifically as the lead producer on its single-player campaign. Next up, Marvel reveals Venom as a boss in Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. After Marvel's Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales became one of the greatest smash hits on PlayStation, it came as no surprise when we found out that there would be a sequel. Insomniac Games have already teased Marvel's Spider-Man 2 in a trailer that hints at both Peter Parker and Miles Morales being playable characters in the same game. That's enough to get us excited. However, to build even more hype, Insomniac decided to reveal yet another character in the trailer, Venom. It's already confirmed that the iconic symbiote is going to be played by horror legend Tony Todd, and that he'll play an important part in the game as one of, if not the final, bosses of the game. And lastly, Captain America and Black Panther fight side by side in World War II in Amy Hennig's upcoming Marvel game. Back in October 2021, Skydance New Media announced that it had been working on a new Marvel game, and now, during the Disney and Marvel Games Showcase, we finally got our first look at the project, though sadly, it was a pretty limited look. Based on what we could see in the promo art, we might get to throw down with Marvel's roster of recurring baddies in Paris, and maybe even Wakanda. Skydance described the game as a narrative-driven adventure game that's set during the Second World War and will feature 4 playable characters who will appear at different points in the story. The characters include a young Steve Rogers, Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather, and that era's Black Panther, Gabriel Jones, a member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, the leader of the fledgling Wakandan spy network. That's a wrap for this video. What would you like to see in a potential new-gen Deadpool game? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.